Welcome everyone back to the chronicles of the infamous VN diff. Now I have it back and everyone has been asking what happened with the diff, from 2 videos ago. So I'm finally here to explain it after 2 weeks off doing videos and other stuff. So as you guys saw, I removed the diff back out of the VN because it was very noisy, and I took it to another place to get a second opinion, as speaking to the place that did the diff, he was blaming me, saying that the gears I provided were shit and that all his work was fine. So upon taking it to another place, they inspected it, pulled it apart, and they said backlash was all up to shit, and they were surprised that it didn't implode this diff and damage everything. The backlash was that tight. Very hard to spin by hand. Went ahead, pulled it apart again. He reset the backlash and advised that I get rid of the weldy. So it's got another center in it now with the 3 9s, and now it has a spool. Unfortunately, me being an idiot, I forgot to mention that the axle seals were leaking. So they weren't done and now they're leaking really bad. So I've done one. I'm about to slot this side axle back in. The reason I didn't do them both at once, here as you can see, this side's leaking now too. The reason I didn't do them both at once is because the diff place also filled it with good oil, which I don't want to throw away for no reason. So I've tipped it on one side so I can do that side, and then when that side's in, I'm just going to put the diff in the car because I'm sick of sitting it here being undrivable. And when it's in the car, I'll pull that side out and do it, and I'll have the car on an angle so it doesn't lose all the oil. So here we go on attempt number 2 at this diff. We'll see if it's finally fixed and these gears were actually savable, because we won't know until I drive it and see if it's noisy or not. Also he did this pinion bearing as well. So hopefully all the noises are gone, and then I'm going to go through the process. I don't know whether I go after the first diff guy, whether it's worth the time and hassle and head fuck around, or I just let it slide. What would you do? He also really overcharged. I felt that it was expensive when I dropped the diff off, and I asked the question at the second diff place how much they would have charged me if I went straight to them in the first place for the job that the first guy did, and their price was almost half. So I'm still debating whether to call or go there to the first diff place and kick up a fuss, or I just get on with life and just call it a loss and just never recommend anyone ever go there. So let me know in the comments what you would do. And no, I'm not going there and burning the place down. Now because the axle seal's leaking, as you can see here, I'm going to give these decent clean before I put it back in so it's not covered in oil. And for all the people that spot it in the background of my videos, yes, this does have a dick on the bottom of it when you see it on the wall. It's a good spot to the people that always point that out in the comments. Give this a really good clean out. And maybe a little bit of grease in here, I reckon. I actually just realized that this is still in here, so that needs to come out. So I've just gone to clean this up and I realized the old casing is still in here, which I thought I'd just come to a standstill because I don't have a, well, I tried a chisel, doesn't work, hammer doesn't work, screwdriver doesn't work. You really need a slide hammer, which I do not have. So I thought I was at a standstill and that was gonna be it and I was gonna crack the shits. Anyway, I watched a few YouTube videos on how people were getting these out at home, and I think I've figured it out. So if I get this short pry bar and put it behind there, behind the casing, I'll move this back and then just hit with a hammer and hopefully it'll come out. So I've been at this for a while and unfortunately I just can't get it out. Once you get it to here, it won't go any further. I'm gonna have to go buy a slide hammer.
2 hours later.
And I'm back. We now have a cheap slide hammer kit. So if anyone needs some serious panel beating done, you know who to call from now on. Let's see if this works. Alright, amazing what the right tools can do. Very easy, 2 seconds and out it came. Now we can put the new axle in. So as you can see, new wheel bearing, new axle seal on the bottom there. Now I'm not sure if you're supposed to put sealant on this, but I'm going to put a tiniest little bit, I think, of this Honda Bond. So tiniest little bit of sealant. This is the hard part. Ugh. There we go. Now, obviously, as you do these up, it'll pull everything together. Hopefully. So before everyone starts typing away in the comments section, I just realized I forgot to put the brakes on. I was doing it up and I'm like, why is it getting so tight and it's not even all the way in yet? Well, that's because this isn't even on yet. Idiot. What an absolute idiot. So now it's on with the plate. And now I can do it up properly. And that is it, all back together. So now the task of, by myself, trying to get this diff back in for the second time. This is really not the easiest thing to do by yourself. Jesus. I really need an apprentice. Hopefully someone that can work for minimal money. Anyone interested? Oh my god, what a mission that was. I need a beer. But I've got it up on stands and under the car by myself. One thing I'm really shitty about, even more than getting ripped on this diff, is that I painted everything up so nice, took my time, primed everything really good, painted it well, and now that I had to pull everything out and put it back in again, everything is scratched to shit. So I just have to put it all back in and touch up everything under the car while it's already in there. Which shits me that I took the time to do that, and because someone else doesn't know how to put a diff together properly, I've started scratching everything. We are done. Diff is back in, everything's tight. I've gone over everything that was scratched with black paint, so it looks all nice and pretty again. So now wheels back on and move the Evo out and pray to God that this diff is alright. officially back on the road with the VN. First drive. Let's wait for this light to go green. Hang on. It does have a little bit of a whine, which I was kind of expecting with a second-hand diff center. You just got to deal with that, that's fair enough. Tiniest little whine, but apart from that, it is back to how it was before. It does have a little vibration, which, if anyone has any opinions on this, my opinion is that the tail shaft can only go two ways because of the bolt pattern, and I reckon if you've just got it one, if it's the 90 degrees the wrong way to the diff, that it's not balanced properly. So I'm thinking that, so I'll jack it up again, spin the tail shaft 180 and do up the bolts again. We'll see if that gets rid of the vibration. But apart from that, very happy. Goes so good with these zip gears. I did have a few people tell me as well as the guy that fixed the diff, that it might be a bit noisy because the first guy stuffed the lash, so it may have worn the gears a little bit, but you don't know until, oh Jesus Christ, you don't know until you drive it. So, but I'm happy with it now. I'm happy with the second guy, who I'll start naming names now as well. The first place I took it to was Sunshine Diffs. I had a lot of people message me after that first video saying that they've had diffs done by him and they were stuffed and blah blah. I actually had a gut feeling when I dropped the diff there that I shouldn't have. I should have gone back and got it. I should have listened to my gut, but anyway. Now the place that fixed his mistakes is Carl's Diffs in Melton. Awesome guy, so easy to deal with. Kept me updated, phone calls, messages, pictures, all that stuff. It was very quick. I dropped it, I think, on a Friday, and I picked it up on, well, it was ready Sunday, and I picked it up the Monday. Very happy. A lot of people messaged me to go to Carl's Diffs. So Carl, if you're watching this, because I know you said you watched a couple of videos, thank you very much. I recommend you to people that are needing diff stuff. So anyway guys, that, oh my god, these fucking roads and shine outs. I'm ready to race this thing again, so the next time I'm able to go race it, that's what we're doing with this car next.